I can absolutely knock Ilia Topuria out on the White House lawn.
How do you know that?
Because I know how crazy this game is. I know the power I possess. I know the skills that I have.
He
I know
possesses
how
a lot of power.
Of course, he could knock me out also.
Right.
But there's no way to find out, and I also will. I just want the chance.
You want him?
Of course.
That's right.
Yeah, he's the champion. He's the champion. He finished Volkanovski, finished Holloway. If I could do it, it will be the best script. Then I will believe this is all simulation. 100%, because that would it'll be crazy. And that's what I'm here for, to do something fucking crazy.
What if you win and you do it by knocking him out? Is that something that would make you retire as well? You said you would retire with a knockout loss. Would you retire with a knockout win?
I already let you get me in trouble once with money.
How is that trouble? How's that trouble? All they do is call you back and offer you more money to stay. I mean,
if I knock out Ilia Topuria, I'm sure I would keep fighting.
And if you lost by knockout to him, you would retire.
If I lost by knockout to a bicycle in between, then I would be done. Like, I would not allowing myself to get these traumatic brain injuries.
And he drops with his hand. He wants to throw his uppercut, and that moment, Ilia gonna overhook him and knock him out right away. But he has no chin. Even like Perry, he touched him so easy, and he was bubbling. You know, his legs was shaking.
Yeah.
I'll just lay it out there. Ilia's striking is leagues above everybody.
Yeah.
Like just about everybody in the UFC.
Yeah, man.
You know, and the wrestling and jiu-jitsu is there as well. His timing, his instincts, his instinct to fire off in like his counterattacks.
He's going to kill Justin. The words hung heavy, a chilling prophecy against a legend. But the prediction came with an even darker caveat, unless a personal catastrophe derails him entirely. This wasn't just analysis, it was a brutal, unvarnished look into the Octagon's future, painting one warrior's fate in stark terms. Forget the hype and crafted narratives. We're talking about an outcome so definitive, so violent, that only a complete collapse outside the cage could possibly prevent it. This shocking declaration pulls back the curtain on the raw truth of what's truly at stake beyond mere belts.
Right now, the Gaethje that fought Paddy won't beat Ilia right now.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that we'll see that Gaethje when he fights Ilia. And maybe that was just the game plan for Paddy to just make it doggy.
Honestly, I think it's the more competitive fight here because of how willing and how dangerous Gaethje is, to trade on the feet. This is a guy who's not going to be afraid of anybody. If he believes that the guy across from him is going to try to punch him or strike his way to victory.
Ilia Topuria isn't just confident, he's convinced his path is pre-written, a champion's destiny unfolding. He declared with chilling certainty that if he finishes his opponent, it would prove this entire reality is a simulation. This isn't arrogance, it's an unshakable belief in his own power and a profound understanding of the game's brutal mechanics. He's not just fighting, he's manifesting a future so incredible, so dominant, it challenges belief itself. This level of self-assurance is a terrifying psychological weapon, poised to shatter opponents.
I think it's going to be a very, very tough fight for him if Tapuria is in his peak form and mentally fit and able. I think it's going to be a tough fight for Gaethje, no question about it. But I think Gaethje will welcome that trade any day.
I'm the only one that knows how hard I work. I'm the only one that can trust in the preparation. I'm the only one that understands.
Forget everything you thought you knew about fighting skills. What truly separates a force like Tapuria isn't just surgical striking or hidden grappling. No, it's something much more primal, an animalistic instinct, a predatory hair-trigger timing defining every move. His counters aren't mere reactions, they're brutal, premeditated strikes designed and executed with cold precision. He doesn't just step into the octagon to fight, he steps in to hunt. This raw, untamed aggression sets him apart, a dangerous predator in a steel cage.
I've trained it since I was a small child. I've sacrificed everything to be in this position right now. And if I'm going to bet on someone or something, it's going to be on myself.
I can see him waiting for Ilia.
which we didn't talk about that matchup. Early thoughts on that one. Fucking horrible matchup for Justin.
Yeah.
Horrible matchup for Justin. How he was eating uppercuts with Patty, and then how he doesn't avoid punches very well. He just kind of makes me like.
The most unsettling truth, Tapuria sees the kill shot before it even exists physically. This isn't just an analyst's prediction, it's the concrete blueprint of a new king. He's operating on a different plane of combat, envisioning the end long before others comprehend the beginning. This chilling foresight explains why trying to make his fights competitive is a losing game. He's not just reacting, he's writing the brutal final chapter of his opponent's night with every calculated movement and devastating blow.
Small box and his ability to throw punches and avoid being hit there and then land, make you miss, and then land again. It's bad fucking business for JG, bro.
No, Ilia's at another speed, another type of athlete. And Gaethje always has the same mistakes he's always made on the stand-up. He's still making them. And when he's lunging in, getting hit with those rights, Ilia does the same thing. He's going to cancel his career on the spot. He's going to put a stop payment on all that shit right on the spot. You know, I think Ilia will get him Gaethje out of the round one type shit.
It was so funny. It was so funny when I was like legit, 100 people.
But if you think Justin Gaethje is just going to show up for a mindless slugfest, you're dead wrong. The man has undergone a calculated evolution, adapting his very DNA, his fighting style, to the precise threat. Remember insane dogfights with Dustin Poirier? That wasn't just chaos, it was a surgical choice, a specific weapon for a particular war. You won't see the familiar all-out scramble. Instead, witness a brutal crucible where pretenders wilt and true legends are forged in fire, mastering chaos strategically for a new era.
I was like, do we really have to do this? And I said to them, I said to the whole media room, I go, does anyone in this room think that Justin Gaethje is going to win that fight? I said, the cameras are pointed at me. I said, no one's going to see you put your hand up because the cameras are all pointed at me. Bro, of 100 of the media, of the UFC media people, not a single person put their hand up. And I was like, wow, why do we... Well, I'm not being sad. I like Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje just delivered the cold, unvarnished truth of a fighter's soul. His readiness isn't guesswork. It's a terrifying beast, forged in a brutal, solitary grind. This relentless, isolated work, he insists, is something no analyst, no other fighter, no one can truly comprehend. That, he claims, is his undeniable edge. When the lights are on and the cage door slams shut, it all comes down to raw, unshakable self-belief in the face of unadulterated chaos. This is the chasm separating a contender from a certified champion.
I would want him to do it in a more measured way, avoid the uppercuts better, the knees and stuff like that. But you think you're going to beat Ilia, moving back? I think the best guy who could do that is Max with his great footwork. And Ilia was able to find those low kicks and take out the footwork of Max Holloway and find the finish. So it's not a bad idea for Justin to think about pressuring.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Even Gaethje's legendary mental fortitude cannot defy the octagon's brutal reality. His defensive liabilities, those moments eating uppercuts and exposing himself, aren't just bad habits. Against an assassin like Tapuria, his pouring guard is an absolute death sentence. Everyone praises Gaethje's warrior spirit, and rightly so, but the ultimate warrior isn't just brave, he's virtually untouchable when it matters most. Tapuria delivers precision with devastating power, making every collected shot a step closer to the inevitable.
But him versus Patty looked a little bit less, I think, less technical than we're used to. Like his performance against myself, his performance against a Tony Ferguson, his performance against Dustin Poirier, some of these ones where it's a little more traditional. Patty is not a traditional movement. He is not a non-traditional movement, a little bit herky-jerky, a little bit awkward, a little bit weird. Just weird is the only way to put it, right? And that can be effective in the sport of mixed martial arts, but when you have a guy who's a lot more technical, sometimes you kind of fall into that vein, so to speak. So not because of the last performance, but
forget armchair predictions. Ilia Topuria isn't just fast, he's operating on an entirely different quantum of combat, a level of speed and precision making others look like they're moving in slow motion. Justin Gaethje's heart is legendary, undeniable, But his tells, those same damn setups used countless times aren't just habits against Tapuria. They're literally written in blood, invitations to disaster. In the unforgiving octagon, a warrior's heart, however legendary, isn't enough when your opponent's fight IQ is a quantum leap ahead.
Right now.
Offensively and defensively, Gaethje's willing to take one to give you a big one. And I think could be a critical mistake against a guy who hasn't been knocked out before, where Gaethje has been knocked out, right? So, and I think that's the only way he gets it done, because if he gets into a slugfest where he starts trading, I think the guy you're probably going to favor in that situation is probably the shorter, stockier guy in this one, who's shown to have bricks for hands.
I will say this, I do worry about Gaethje a little bit.
Do you really want to know true fight IQ? It's walking into a room full of experts, 100 UFC media members, and every single one dismissing Justin Gaethje, every single one envisioning Tapuria as an unstoppable champion, not a single hand raised in Gaethje's defense. That's the cold, hard calculus of this sport. The media has already written the script, decided the outcome, but that's exactly where they miss the essence of the warrior spirit, the unpredictable chaos that can shatter any narrative in a split second.
The Tapuria fight will be a disaster. It's almost guaranteed. Tapuria is not Paddy Pimblett. He hits like a truck. He's going to stay in the pocket. And it looks like, based on the way Paddy took those punches, that Ilia will be able to navigate through that. I just think that's a disaster fight.
And also, once again, big fan of Justin Gaethje. Unless the divorce ruins Ilia Topuria and we don't see him for a couple years, if he is a fraction of the guy who knocked out Charles Oliveira, he's going to kill Justin.
Do you honestly think you can beat an animal like Tapuria by constantly giving ground? Max Holloway, one of the greatest strikers and footwork specialists, tried that exact dance. He tried to move and manage distance against Tapuria. What happened? Tapuria absolutely carved him up, leading with leg kicks, systematically dismantling him until Holloway's famous footwork was a painful memory. Gaethje knows this. It's not about intellectually thinking about pressure. It's about fundamentally being Justin Gaethje, daring Tapuria to break him first.
There's a lot of different attacks, good energy, everything. We saw in rounds, Justin was kind of looking at the clock. At the end of rounds, like, all right, how much is left? He paced himself like a veteran, guys.
Tapuria's fights, I think people remember the end of them and sort of remember them as this like crazy one-way traffic, and the Oliveira one maybe was, but Holloway had success on the feet against him. Volkanovski actually had success on the feet against him. So it's not like he's just this crazy undefeatable guy. He's just got this unbelievable power. So I think like if Gaethje goes out there.
But don't be fooled by Gaethje's seemingly less technical style, that weird, awkward movement. It's not clumsy, it's a strategic weapon, an intellectual landmine. It's deliberately designed to shatter Tapuria's rhythm, to drag him kicking and screaming into an unfamiliar hell, forcing him to fight ugly. This strips away every comfortable, pre-planned strategy Ilia might have, throwing his perfect game plan into utter disarray. This is the brutal crucible, asking not whose technique is superior, but who truly masters the chaos when it matters most.
Gaethje fights over the past, 8 years, like, that man can pull anyone into a fight, and once he pulls you into his type of fight, all bets are off. He can beat anyone. He can land something crazy. He can compromise you. So if Ilia stays disciplined and fights technical, tough night for Justin, but if he can get him into his type of fight, I think there's an opportunity there.
Forget about raw.
Forget that take one to give one mentality. Against a man like Tapuria, that's not just hard, it's a reckless gamble with your consciousness. You cannot out-brawl a fighter who has literally never seen the canvas from the wrong end of a punch, especially when your own lights have already dimmed. Justin Gaethje's fire is legendary. But against an unbroken fighter with bricks for hands, that very fire can quickly consume him entirely. This is about absolute, unyielding imperviousness, the true mark of a king.
That no, you're certainly going to favor Tapuria here, because when he lands the type of shots that Paddy did against Gaethje, the difference is people go to sleep.
But Justin, we got to clean up a lot, especially if Tapuria is next. The dipping of the head, the keeping your chin up, the just walking forward recklessly, it's not going to work with a guy like Tapuria, who looks for openings, who finds his angles, who has crazy power in his hands. Paddy was landing some great shots, great uppercuts, even that little switch jab uppercut.
Burn this absolute truth into your brain. The true killer in the octagon isn't just about raw power, it's about absolute unyielding imperviousness. Tapuria isn't just a brawler, he's an unyielding force of nature, a relentless tsunami that simply cannot be stopped. And that right there is the fundamental difference, the psychological chasm between these two warriors. One man has proven he can be stopped, the other simply hasn't. That unbroken spirit, that unblemished record, is a psychological edge that cannot be bought or faked. Don't you dare let the Tapuria hype, the relentless buzz around him, blind you to reality. That undefeated aura he carries, it's a fragile thing, a delicate veneer, especially against true championship level pressure. Invincibility is a mirage in the octagon, a beautiful lie that shatters the moment it's truly tested. Every fighter, no matter how dominant, has a breaking point, and the best champions don't just find it, they force it relentlessly. Gaethje isn't just seeking a car crash, he's bringing the entire demolition crew. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Gaethje isn't just a brawler anymore. If you still think that, you're living in the past. That clock-watching, patient, measured approach isn't weakness, it's brutal wisdom, hard-earned lessons etched deep onto a veteran soul that has seen hell. He's fundamentally evolved, mastering the intricate art of calculated chaos, understanding with razor-sharp precision the exact brutal moment to unleash his storm. This is a terrifying transformation, a testament to true adaptation in the cage. Here's what so many people are missing, the subtle yet devastating consequence. To beat Gaethje at his own grueling game isn't just a win, it's a soul-crushing transaction. Even if you manage to survive his relentless fire, the brutal price of that entry often leaves you permanently diminished, stripped of something essential to your fighting spirit. The true champion doesn't just win, he dictates the terms of engagement, even when faced with absolute, unpredictable chaos. This is a war of attrition for the soul, few emerge truly whole. So the real question, the one separating the elite from the legendary, is this. Can Tapuria truly maintain that cold, calculating killer instinct, that unwavering precision, when the entire world is literally burning around him in a Gaethje-fueled inferno? Gaethje fights aren't about mere victory, they're about survival. If you want a prediction, look for the warrior who is truly willing to suffer more, because that's the one who will emerge victorious from the ashes. This is a brutal examination of will, beyond mere skill, raw and unfiltered. Justin Gaethje has a terrifying, undeniable ability. He can pull anyone into his type of fight. Over 8 years, he's proven that once he drags you into his personal brand of chaos, all bets are off. He can land something crazy, he can compromise you, he can beat anyone. If Tapuria stays disciplined and fights technical, it'll be a tough night for Justin. But if Gaethje can get him into his type of fight, an opportunity explodes into existence, where predictability shatters and anything can happen. This is his unique, dangerous superpower. Forget raw courage. Justin Gaethje's chin-up, reckless walk-forward style, while undeniably brave and thrilling, is against Ilia Topuria, nothing short of a fatal invitation. El Matador doesn't just land punches, he extinguishes your lights permanently with surgical precision. This isn't about simple predictions based on past performances. Oh no, this is about evolution. You don't just fight Tapuria and hope for the best. You adapt. You fundamentally change your entire approach, or you become a brutal permanent lesson etched into the unforgiving canvas of the octagon. Champion status, that coveted title, demands so much more than a warrior's heart. It demands genius, a strategic mind capable of outmaneuvering an absolute predator. If you don't possess that, you'll favor Tapuria, because when he lands the type of shots Justin absorbed from others, the difference isn't a wobble, people go to sleep. Justin has to clean up a lot, the head dips, the chin up, the reckless walking forward. These are critical flaws against a precise, powerful hunter like Tapuria, who finds every opening. Consider Tapuria's past opponents. Max Holloway, renowned for his footwork and elusive striking, was systematically dismantled. Alexander Volkanovski, a consensus pound-for-pound king, was finished. These aren't easy wins, they're definitive statements against the very best in the world. Tapuria has demonstrated an uncanny ability to nullify elite skill sets and impose his will. This history isn't just impressive, it's a terrifying blueprint for anyone who steps into the cage, revealing a fighter whose dominance extends beyond hype into cold reality. Gaethje versus Tapuria is not just a stylistic clash, it's a strategic nightmare for Justin. His defensive habits and the way he absorbs punishment while celebrated as toughness are severe liabilities against a surgeon like Ilia. Tapuria's precision and power exploit the smallest openings, turning them into catastrophic errors. This isn't about heart, it's about the brutal, unforgiving mechanics of striking. Every time Gaethje takes a shot, he's gambling his consciousness against a man who knows exactly how to collect that debt. The stakes couldn't be higher. So, as these two titans prepare for an inevitable collision, the narrative isn't just about who wins, it's about who fundamentally understands the brutal, evolving chess match that is championship-level mixed martial arts. Will Tapuria's unblemished record and predatory instincts continue their march towards undisputed kingship? Or will Gaethje's battle-hardened wisdom and chaotic evolution shatter the illusion of invincibility? This isn't just a fight, it's a visceral examination of human will, strategic genius, and the chilling reality that only one man can walk through that fire unscathed.